for In Depth tonight. It's great to have him in the building. P Money's in the house. How you doing, P? What's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you, bro?
I'm good, man. It's great to have you in the building for this, especially.
Yeah, man.
Because, you know, you're someone who I regard as one of the greats out of our country. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever I get a chance to mention it, I always do. Like, P Money is one of my favorite MCs. Like, and when I say that, it can sound really generic, but I'm talking like from the technicality point of view, like being so on point and the delivery and the live aspects and everything else. So we're gonna cover all of that and a whole lot more in the next hour or so, man. First and foremost, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm really good, man. Yeah, just coming off the back of the album, just riding a wave right now, man.
I was gonna say you must be feeling pretty good after how 2016 kind of turned out.
Yeah,
ended the year with the album live and direct.
Yeah. It's been good, like non-stop, like feedback, new fans every day, like every day, new people as well, like people that have been supporting me from years ago. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like all the social medias is going mad, shows. Yeah, it's been mad, man.
Have you noticed like a definite kind of level up since the album dropped? Because you was out there flying on socials anyway, and where you've been doing your thing, traveling and touring and shutting down shows and dropping tracks. Have you noticed a jump up since the album dropped?
Yeah, everything's like 10 times more. Like the love is 10 times more. Like people they take it even more serious. Not that they didn't before, but it's like, okay, cool. It's an album. All right, cool. I'm gonna go 100 for you, P Money. You know what I mean? I can see you're doing 100. Cool. I'm gonna support you 100. And it literally is that. Like everything I've been doing, anything I release, anything I tweet, people are just in tune, retweeting, commenting, feedback, like rolling. Yeah, it's been mental, man.
Like, the fan base is like on board, like hard.
Yeah.
2017 is gonna be a big year. But before we even kind of talk about, you know, what's going to happen in the future, I feel like we need to kind of go all the way back. Like, even before most of these fans knew who you were. I want to take it back to South East London.
Okay.
And kind of like the late 90s, early 2000s. I was actually about in South East London around those times. I went to St. Joseph's Academy.
Swear.
Yeah, I went to St. Joseph's, bruv. I've still got the green blazer.
Oh my God, yeah.
So like, I had my little connection. I used to ride the 108 bus from Bow.
108,
all the way through. To take me all the way through.
Raw.
So I've always had loads of love for South East, especially Lewisham.
Yeah,
which is where you grew up. Yeah, I thought you would have known that.
I've never known that. I went Deptford Green, but I had like a ton of friends in St. Joseph's. Like, that's like part of my childhood. Like, yeah, man. Yeah, that's mad. I didn't know that.
Legendary school. It's not there anymore. They kind of they closed it and renamed it and all that. But I had loads of fun.
Yeah, I didn't.
Probably a bit too much fun, to be fair. Like, you're supposed to be in school, but it was a fun time, man. But what was the young P Money getting up to? Like you said, you went to Deptford Green, another one of the kind of local spots, local schools in the area.
Do you know what? For the first couple of years, that I didn't even tell anyone I could MC. I was literally just doing it in my bedroom, not doing. I used to watch people MC, like Little D. He was in my school. He was a year younger than me, and I used to watch them in the playground MC and not say a word, just like rate them, but not even get involved in MC myself. And it weren't until someone tried to clash Kenzie in my school. Mackenzie was in my crew, that I just kind of stepped in and sprayed the lyric. And everyone was like,
that must have been like a crazy way to kind of intro yourself, because like you said, people didn't even know you were doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Like close friends, like even Little D was like, oh my God, you never said. He was like, yo man, that's it, like, you got to be in my crew, like we got to do this. Do you know what I mean? And from there, it was that, like, we was called Block Kids. You know what I mean? Yeah, in school, and we just became so popular. We was going to every youth club, like all over Lewisham Borough, Brockley, New Cross, Deptford, Forest Hill, Sydenham, even out of the borough, we was going like Greenwich, Thamesmead, wherever. We was going everywhere, going youth clubs, and we even went east one time. And that's how I met like Discarda and Trim and man.
It's crazy, because a lot of people won't know that, you know, before this kind of, you could just upload your music on YouTube and upload a freestyle and hit these kind of proper shows that obviously you're now killing. It was like, it was the youth clubs and the little spots, house parties, wherever you could be heard.
Yeah, that was it. Like, it was like very, you had to be there. You couldn't just send anything. You couldn't just, you know what I mean? Like, people used to send music on MSN and stuff, and or Bluetooth. Infrared. Like, I'm trying to send a tune. Oh, you're moving the phone too much. Like, like it used to be those. Like, you couldn't just upload a tune and everyone around the world could hear it until like I got onto MySpace.
Yeah.
Those days, that's when I really started like getting into music properly, because that's when I first started getting feedback from people that I didn't know them. I didn't even know there was an outside world. Like I just knew Southeast London. Like,
I don't think anyone who was like from the inner cities, and especially like those early kind of music making days, I don't think anyone really visualized how big and how far like everyone is going to be able to take it once, you know, the internet kind of took hold. Because like you said, you couldn't just upload something. You couldn't, until literally MySpace was kind of like the first real online music tool where it was like, wow, like people in America have just messaged me, or like someone from like even like out of London. It was kind of the first connection you got to the rest of the UK and the world, man.
Yeah, like we was just doing it without knowing. Like that's one thing I've always noticed is very different about our scene, is that we literally do it from the ground, and we never started to make money.
Yeah.
We just did it because it was what we do. Like it is what we do. When someone says, "Why did you start MCing?" I'm like, I don't know. We just started. We just did it. We used to chip in and go record shops. We used to go Independence, chip in.
I was about to say Independence Records, man.
Yeah, Independence Records. We used to chip in, buy our DJ records, you know what I mean? We always had to chip in, buy Eskimo. All right, we need that one. We need Ends. We need this. You know what I mean? And literally be in the house, mucking around, practicing MCing and DJing. Like we didn't know anything about making money, being a writer, like writing our own lyrics. We didn't know that was actually a thing that could make money. We didn't know. We was just writing lyrics and doing what we do.
It was kind of, I guess, a way to early expression plus like slash keeping out of trouble slash it was fun, obviously. But if we kind of go back to what you kind of told me in the beginning, like you was, you know, at home writing bars, sneakily practicing and getting to a certain level, like without everyone else knowing. What made you actually want to go and do that originally?
Just watching people, and I noticed like when someone had a microphone, like, you know, when you're in school and they're doing, I don't know, the assembly, whenever the teacher stood up and used to speak on the mic, everyone listened.
Yeah.
Everyone stopped talking, everyone listened. And that's what I picked up on. I was like, raw. Okay,
this guy's got assembly shut down. He's locking his
why is everyone, you know what I mean? Like, why am I listening? Automatically, I just listen because he's the loudest in the room. He's got a mic, do you know what I mean? And I thought, do you know what? I'm not a loud person, but I do have a lot to say. And like, I wasn't shy, I was just quiet. But then I thought, do you know what? This might be my way of telling my story and, do you know what I mean? Speaking about my journey and the things I want to talk about. I don't want to hear the teacher talk about things I don't really care about. I want to talk to my friends, and, do you know what I mean? So then I just started writing lyrics. And then when I got the courage to actually just come out and say, yeah, cool, these are my lyrics.
Crazy.
It went mad.
Crazy. So like that's a crazy story. That's the first time I've heard an MC reference their first kind of, you know, experience of a microphone being like teacher in assembly. But it's an obvious one you'd think, but it's crazy that's where you kind of pick things up from, man.
Yeah, man.
So, you know, Block Kids was up and running. Every person who's in a crew or part of a collective now, everyone was in a pre-crew or like, you know, like everyone had that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Block Kids, I hadn't heard of, but like, I'm not surprised that you guys had a kind of precursor to what went on later. How far did you kind of take it with Block Kids, I guess?
Well, do you know what? At the time, we didn't even know we was doing a lot, but we was doing, we had a little event that used to happen every year in a park, which turns out now it's a festival.
Yeah.
But back then, we didn't see it as a festival. It was just, like a thing in the park, we're going to perform there. And we used to shut it down all the time. And now when I think about it, like, I've done festivals, I'm like, we was actually doing festivals at 14 years old and killing it. Like,
crazy.
When we came out, it was mad. Like, do you know what I mean? We had thousands of kids. A lot of them we probably knew, but it was just, we had everyone going crazy. And I was only realizing now that, we was actually doing shows at that young age, you know what I mean? And then, everywhere we would go, we were known, like, printing up little CDs and giving them out, and everyone sending each other our tunes and stuff. And it was crazy. Like, we didn't realize we was actually properly doing music without knowing. Do you know what I mean? Going studio, doing ad-libs and stuff. We was just doing it. We didn't realize what we was doing. We was just doing it. Like,
or did we know, like 2017, you would have just dropped like brand new album. Like after, I might add, dropping like, I think you dropped something like 12, I counted like something like 12 projects, like EPs to mixtapes.
Yeah.
And that doesn't include live and direct as well. Like you've been prolific over the years. Around those times when you were getting about, you know, doing those park shows and Block Kids was, you know, hitting different spots and doing the thing around Southeast London. Who was you listening to? Was you listening to anyone who was kind of already doing stuff, who was doing stuff on a bigger scale?
Roll Deep.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
Sick.
Roll Deep, man. Like, pirate radio locked in all the time, like whether it was Sundays or whatever. I used to tape it. If I didn't get to tape it, I was going into school like, yo, Abdul, did you get that set? Yeah. Let me copy that. Like, yeah, man, that was it. Like, yeah, locking into Roll Deep. Before the DVDs even come out, I didn't even know there was DVDs and stuff that I could watch. It was literally listening to voices on the radio, not knowing what man looked like.
Crazy.
Didn't even know what man looked like, just knew, okay, that's Wiley, that's Dizzy, cool, that's Scratchy, do you know what I mean? That's Breeze, all right, that's DJ Target, all right, cool, like, do you know what I mean? Like, that was it. We just knew names, voices, mixes, and tunes.
Sick.
And we was just fans of it.
Sick. The early inspiration of like Dizzy just going on and doing his thing and winning the Mercury and getting signed like early 2003.
Yeah.
I feel like it had a massive impact on people really looking around and saying, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
This could be a thing, because I know you mentioned like none of us knew, everyone was just doing it.
Yeah.
It was just fun, it was just something to do, you know.
Yeah.
Being known in your ends felt like you'd won a Grammy anyway.
Yeah.
And then Dizzy came along and Kano and Wiley and people like that, and it was like, hang on, this is a real thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, even from like Sidewinder tape packs and stuff, and like just hearing crowd reactions, thinking, what? Like, what's that? Do you know what I mean? That's sick. Like, do you know what I mean? And then that Dizzy inspired me to do tunes, because when I used to listen to everyone was just spraying bars. They might have had like hooks and stuff, but it wasn't actually recorded on a track, like verse, chorus, bridge. You know what I mean? It was just, their bars on radio and over different instrumentals. But then when I heard Dizzee Rascal, like I Love You and stuff like that, I was thinking, raw, like you can actually make, these are songs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? These are actually songs. And then when you're looking into Roll Deep show and they play the songs before the set, like before they actually get into bars, they're playing that. I'm like, raw, this is, you know what I mean? This is structure.
Yeah, it started to be a structure. I remember Carnage used to have like half an hour of vocals, warm everything up, and then it used to go into like instrumental set, You
know what I mean? And I was like, raw, you can actually like make songs. And then I started doing that. So yeah, Dizzy kind of showed me about that. Like, you inspired me to actually make songs. I think out of the man them in South, I think I might have been the first one to say, all right, cool, and actually make songs. Yeah. And that propelled me even further, do you know what I mean? Because that's when girls get involved. Yeah. You know what I mean? They actually listen and sing
I like that one.
Yeah, I like that one. It's catchy. I can say this bit. Like, that was sick. But yeah, man, Dizzy, Wiley, Kano, they changed it. Like they consistently changed it though. They kept doing things that were just taking it to the next level.
Just pushing that boundary, man. Just pushing the envelope. Now, OGs, which is like, that's the crew, that's the clique that I'd say 99% of your fan base would know you from.
Yeah.
When did you officially make that transition into like, right, we've got a bit of structure here, like let's kind of level it up. Yeah. Let's go with it. Originators.
That was about 2006/2007. So like, we started off as Block Kids. It was me, Little D, and a few other people in that went to my school. And then Blacks, and even Funky D, who was called Firmity at the time, they was in a different crew.
A lot of people don't know that. Funky D from like Are You Gonna Bang No fame, he was a grime MC guy.
Originally grime MC. He used to kill it as well, and they was in another crew. But we all knew each other. We used to roll with each other on road and stuff, and we had a little a minor clash. And like, we didn't feel like anyone won. We felt like we was all sick, so we joined up, and we became Fatal Assassins. So it was like me, Firmity, Blacks, Little D, Castro, and then so then Essentials was like the Roll Deep of South to us.
Yeah, they were big out there.
Yeah,
likes of I've forgotten like everyone's names.
Yeah, like
Bossman.
Yeah, Bossman, Remedy. Yeah.
We got Remedy as well. Yeah, of course.
They were like the massive crew of Southeast. That's who we used to look up to for South. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then NE, I knew him from being on the roads and stuff, and he was in the crew as well. And he was the only one that ever used to reach out and say, "Yo, man, come do this," or "Yeah, you lot should do this." Like he was the only man that actually said, "Yo, you lot are sick." Yeah, you know what I mean. South has a different mentality. Not everyone likes to help each other or even just say those things. Yeah. Like it was very hard and rough in South. Do you know what I mean? We didn't really have any nights, venues. We didn't really have any of that. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't really no help or handouts at all. So for someone like that and a crew like that to come along and say, "Yo, you lot are sick, man. Do your thing." You know what I mean? And then eventually, he brought us in. He said, "You know what? I'm making this thing called OGs. It's an umbrella. It's not a crew where you just have to be in a crew. It's you lot are sick. I see you lot as individuals that are great. I think together we can move as a unit and do that. So we was all like, even though we was a crew called Fatal Assassins, we joined, we was OGs, but we still had our little unit within OGs, you know what I mean? Desperado was South Soldiers, but he was in OGs. Eni and Gender came from Essentials, but they were their unit. But together,
mad,
we were crazy, do you know what I mean? Even Young Dot at the time, like, he'd come from like Southwest, Brixton side, so he brought his different style of grime, like beats and stuff like that. And together, you know what I mean? We made OG Season and it was so different.
Mad.
And that's why.
I remember that. I remember around that time and it all dropping, and like you said, Essentials were kind of had their title as like the South Crew. And then it was like, hang on a minute, like this OGs thing is like, whoa, like, and like you said, just literally just went from strength to strength, man.
Yeah, man.
Got to salute NE for the early vision, man.
Yeah, 100%.
God bless NE, man.
Yeah, man. He just knew. It's like, I don't know, it's like he was psychic. He just knew, like, he just saw talent. He was like a manager, he was an A&R, he was like a label owner, but he didn't want to own anything. He just wanted to say, I want you, man, to do well, and this is the way, together. Like, he saw the divide in the ends and said, forget that, like, let's just do this together. What's the point in you being sick in that crew over there and us being sick over there? Why not be sick in one place?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened, man.
And, you know, those early kind of... That's definitely breaking barriers, because like you said, it wasn't... People used to stick to their individual cliques.
Yeah.
If anything, they'd say hello to other cliques if they weren't in like some sort of beef. So it wasn't... Like, having that early vision to get people to just work together and collect, like, look at where we're at now. Like, people, there is no rule. Like, you can go and work with anyone anywhere, and everyone more or less gets on. So those early decisions were really important, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. I mean, after that, like, because he was in Essentials and they had made links with, like, they knew Roll Deep, they knew, like, Jamie, Skepta. When we became OGs, straight away we just made that link, like, linked up with Boy Better Know, Gang Radio, back to back, like, every week. Do you know what I mean? Angtype Melody.
Crazy pirate radio sets, man.
Yeah, bruv, like, non-stop. Like, I was like, I don't know, 19, 20, spitting on radio with Skepta. Like, for me, that was mad. Like, I'm spraying with JME. I'm like, bro, I got your CDs. Do you know what I mean? It was mad.
Crazy.
But I have to big up Eni every time, because him and Melanin, they used to take us. We were kids. We didn't have no cars or anything. They used to actually get us 7-seater, pick us up at all our houses. Yo, we're going radio. We're gonna do this. Or yo, we're going shows. We're gonna do this. And next minute, I know I'm spraying with some of the greatest MCs I grew up listening to.
Like that, I'm sure has been. I've been saying this because I've spoken to, you know, the likes of Gets, and we spoke to Mega Man, and last week we had Devlin, and those pirate radio sets is like literally like going into like Shaolin Temple to train. Like the experience and technicality and all of it, like just how to carry yourself, how to like come after an MC, what to do, like all of that. I feel like the new wave, they miss out slightly because they don't have that pirate radio thing as much going on. Yeah,
man, you can tell, like, I mean, when people say, oh, bro, you got an hour set, how you going to do that? I'm like, nothing. Yeah.
You see, like 3 hours, hope the next DJ was late.
Yeah, like, that's nothing. And then, man, like, it really was training. Like, even now, like, the code nickname for it, when we say, all right, practice hours, like, that's what it was.
Yeah, like, that's exactly what it was, man.
Yeah, like 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning, we're going radio and we're spraying bars we've just written, or bars we wrote last week we want to test out. Like, we was doing that, do you know what I mean? Learning bars on the spot, on radio, you might flop it, repeat it again, get it right the next time. Do you know what I mean? Then the next week when you come back, you know it, and like, you can tell other people know it. Like, your man them that are there now, they're singing along now as well. But this is a bar that's only a week old. Like, man, radio is a massive part of doing this MC thing.
Did you ever feel like under any pressure at any of those sets, like in the room with certain MCs, or like?
Oh, you know? Being on set with Boy Better Know, it's like, automatically you're trying to impress everyone in the room.
Because they were already like out there as Boy Better Know. Obviously Skepta and JME had been doing their thing for a few years already. So I guess, you know, stepping into like what is now the kind of Premier League of sets, I guess.
Yeah, you always felt like there was secret wars. This is the thing. People that ain't an MC will never understand. Like, you probably listen to an MC go back to back and think, oh yeah, this is sick, and you don't know they're secretly warring.
Yeah, and they don't even say anything about it.
They don't.
Even afterwards.
Yeah, like, it's secret. Like, he says a lyric, like, he might you know, I might be saying it at a bar and then someone comes after me and their first line is, my man's whack. Instantly, even though he's not talking about me, it's like, okay, all right, cool. And then like, yeah, I'll stay there. I want the mic again now. And it's, even though it's entertaining for everyone listening, for me and that MC, we secretly know, all right, you're trying it, I'm trying it, cool, we both want to be the best, but it's fun, it's sport, do you know what I mean? It's that little minor, quick rivalry, and some of the best moments in grime have happened from doing that, do you know what I mean?
Definitely, like, without a doubt, like, way before it was the time of, like, actual planned clashes with, like, audiences and it's being documented. These were like, let's just turn up and just, if it happens, it happens.
That's what I miss from Eskimo dance now, from back then. Like, older people that come Eskimo dance now, it's a great show. But I'm like, yo, back in the day, you didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know who was going to turn up. You didn't, like, do you know what I mean? You might have had this person on set with this person, or that you know this person and this person don't really get on. They're kind of lyrically beefing, but then boom, they're both here now. They're on the mic. It's accidental, but it's going off now. Like, it's about to happen live. You've witnessed the clash. That if you weren't at the rave, you never got to see that moment. You just heard about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Literally, like a lot of people took L's that were never documented. Like, luckily for lots of people, like a lot of the L's aren't even anywhere to be relived. Like it's just like ancient urban myths and fables and stuff. It's crazy. So, you know, you mentioned Pirate Radio. We've spoken a lot about Pirate Radio and what that did. That was the kind of the early training. OGs were now a collective of talented MCs from all around Southeast London, still able to go off and do their thing. Then people started hitting the clubs.
That's when it all changed properly. Like, we started earning money, bruv. Like, I didn't know that was even like possible like that. We actually started earning money, getting paid to turn up and do what I've been doing in my bedroom. It's like, what? And then there's people in the crowd that I don't know that know the lyrics, like all
not just your man them anymore, like, not just the girls you knew from the ends. Like,
I'm just like, at this point I'm so raw. Like, I didn't even move. I used to have my hood all the way over my face and just spray, standing still, like not even really moving.
That was that Pirate Radio stance.
That's all I knew. You get me? And I'm just like, I'm not even making eye contact with anyone. But when you kind of stop and you hear they're singing back the lyric, and I'm like, bro, they know. And how did they know? You know what I mean? But then that's when you realise the radio and everything kicks in. But yeah, the show just brings a whole different side of music. Like, you hear instrumentals different at live compared to being in your car or in your house. When you hear it in a club, everything's different. The whole vibe's different. Even the way you MC is different. Your voice is more louder. You're a bit more hyper. You got way more energy than how you done it in the studio. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, a show is a mad experience, and that's probably my most favourite bit of doing music, man.
I was going to ask because, you know, since you have started doing not started doing it, since, you know, you've gone from, you know, the youth club to the small club to the bigger club to the headline at the club to the festival stage, like. It must just grow and grow as an enjoyment, man.
Yeah, it doesn't stop, like, no matter what. Like, the other day I was in Poland and it's the first time I've been there, and I wasn't sure if they knew me or not. Like, quite a lot of the people did, but there was quite a lot of people that didn't.
Yeah.
And just getting that reaction of me spraying, doing technical stuff, and they appreciate it, they're going mad, you know what I mean? Hands in the air, like that alone, I thrive off that, like a vibe. Like, it's just a complete different vibe, man. And you can only get that at a festival or a club, at a show. You can only get it from there, that particular vibe, man.
Without a doubt, man. An early record I remember just shutting down festivals was when you teamed up with True Tiger on Slang Like This. Like that still to this day, like, I'm glad we're talking because I've it's reminding me, I'm gonna start dropping this again. I ain't dropped this for a minute. Like, this record used to just shut it down. Still does though to this day, man.
Yeah, man.
That record it still sounds as sick, as hard as it did, like when I first heard it, man.
Timeless music, man. Yeah. It's hard to do, but yeah, when you get it, you got it. I mean, I performed it like 3 days ago, and I didn't have to say a word. Beat dropped.
Just literally stand back, bro.
Yeah, and the maddest thing is, I was staying in Birmingham a lot at the time, which is where the track came from. It was influenced by being in Birmingham. Like, there used to be a night that happened every like 2 weeks. It was called Goonies, and it was literally.
I remember Goonies.
Yeah, it was like a community. It was like a group of people that used to just come together and do this event. Like, it was in a pub. It was actually in a pub that had a room converted into like a stage with speakers and stuff. And we literally used to all just come together. I used to come up from London all the time and just spray bars, and everyone, it was almost like taking what happened in radio to just doing it in a pub and inviting everyone who would normally lock in, just inviting them, saying, come down. Like, everyone knew each other, but we raved like we didn't.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just raved it up. Like, it was sick. And then I used to stay there. Like, there was a point where I was staying there for like 2-3 months, and I just wrote the tune. I was saying, my Brum Goonies will tell you the answer. And I was just like, yeah, cool. Like, this is it.
Yeah.
And then I remember going to studio with Stanza and Sook Knight saying, yeah, cool. And they played me the beat. And I was like, yeah, I got something. And I just did it. Like, get me, brethren. And I remember he looked at me like, because the way I recorded it, I used to miss words out. So I could punch them in after. And he was looking at me like, what are you doing? Like, what is this? You know what I mean? And I used to say, trust me. Just trust me. Like, trust me. And then when it came out, it just went mad. Like, it just went viral. Every DJ was playing it, radio was playing it. It just went crazy. Do you know what I mean? And then even shooting a video, that was fun because we were just going around filming random people who, like, we were just saying to them, do you want to be in a video? They're like, oh, for what tune? We'll play it to them on the spot. And they're like, oh my God, this is sick. Yeah, film me. Yeah, turn the camera on. Like, yeah. Like, that was a great experience. Like, like literally setting up decks and speakers outside my tower block, like on my estate, and just filming. People hearing the music and coming down.
Super organic, man.
Yeah, literally, like just doing it like how we do. There was no adding things. There was no hiring Lamborghinis, nothing like that. Just, man, decks. Let's play some music. Whoever hears
just
comes.
The vibe, man.
That is
as it is, just raw and untouched.
Yeah.
Now, your collaborations. You've collaborated quite a lot over the years, man. I'm sure you get lots of people on your phone and in your email like, oh, I got this tune for you, P. Can you like? I'm sure you're like, having to like sift your way through which ones to do and which ones not. Like, you've worked with people like JME, through to Magnetic Man, through to Ed Sheeran, back to like KSI. Like, how do you even? Is it literally a case by case, track by track? I'll make the decision.
I'm a bit different, to be honest. It's friendships.
Yeah.
Like, I like to be able to know you. I'm doing a track with someone I know. That makes me put my all in. If I don't know you, I'm not gonna lie, I might not put my all in. I might not care about doing a video, not really care about my verse, like not care about promoting it. But when I know you, I could say, yeah, man, no, this person's my friend. I'm going hard. Just same way they will go hard because it's their track, I'll go hard because I feel like, I'm on my friend's track. So I am a bit fussy. Like, all the time I get hit up and I say, like, no offense, but like, let's link up first. Let's see, you know what I mean? Let's link up, let's talk, like, let me not just get to know you, but like, let's vibe.
Let's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like, let's
man.
not just do music because I'm an MC and you're an MC. I don't believe in just because you're an MC and I'm an MC, that means we should do a tune together. I don't, you know what I mean? You're sick, cool, I'm sick, cool, but let's actually have something so that...
Have some common ground at least,
Sometimes, like, I grew up seeing so many clashes where the last radio set, you lot were friends spraying together and next week you're clashing and I'm like, what? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's mad. I don't like that. I rather have someone as my friend, you know what I mean? And like, when you do a show, I feel no way to turn up and perform absolutely free because I feel like, that's my brethren. What? Like, I'm cool with him. He's blessed. Like, do you know what I mean? So that's just, that's how my collabs have come about. Like, these are people I actually know. And
they've all been real interesting collabs as well, man. You know, like you hear, sometimes you can almost hear in the verse or in the collab that you've done this, you've just jumped on this. You haven't really cared. Like, with you, like, everything is like you said, you treat it as it's your own record. And you can hear that. It comes through, man. I want to take it back to, I think it was 2014 quickly, and just play a clip of one of your collaborations, be it a live one. You was in on the Live Lounge with Ed Sheeran.
Oh, yeah. Do you
remember that even?
Yeah.
You've done so much. You've done a lot in this building as well, in the couple of buildings you've had over the years.
Let's
play a quick clip of that, man.
I don't know about James Bond, but around here, nobody lived twice. When you're gone without no buy, cause only a judge can give you life. Get it? This is my advice. Trust me, I nearly lost my life 3 weeks after I got this ride. Drunk like I had way too much wine. Wish that I didn't get one. Anyway, I was going to the Macbeth book for a set, even though I didn't have a set one. one. Scream hit the decks, I was at check one. Put on the show, but I want my best one. I left it, dropped Blacks off at his destination. Then I was off to the next one. 20 minutes later, I was in the M1. But I kept on going, fell asleep without even knowing. No motion in my face, no movement in my legs, but the car still kept going. I woke up, lorry flash, panic brake, skidded, crash, skidded more, bang, smash, out, cold, rip, crack. I was in so much pain, crawled out of a Maganda, now look like a mini when I was still in the first lane. Baffled, didn't even know my name, fainted, too much shock to the brain. Surrounded by paramedics and feds, trying to get up but fainted again. See?
I just want you to take a second, hear me out. Don't think I'm happy cause I smile when you see me out. I've had serious madnesses where I've nearly disappeared, or I'm begging Lord to save me and let me go to see
Sick. P Money, my special guest. We are in depth right about now. That was P Money alongside Ed Sheeran in the live lounge right here for Radio 1 and 1Extra, I believe that was.
Yeah. That was sick, man.
Yeah.
I think that might have been the first time I'd ever done something like a live lounge.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Just me, Ed, and a guitar.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the first time I'd ever done that. But yeah, that was sick, man.
And you know, like, I guess that gave you an appetite to like, all of this is kind of building you as into like the artist we know today, man.
Yeah.
Who's dropping an album and like really taking this as far as you can, man.
Yeah.
It was all kind of training, I guess.
Yeah, everything is like, even doing that track with Ed, like Family, it was a complete different style that people hadn't heard from me. Like I was talking about real life experience, you know what I mean? I had a car crash.
Yeah.
And like the track was different. It weren't like a hype track. It was like you had to sit down and listen. I used to get so many messages from people like that had the same experience, or like it touched them. They used to say, oh, the hairs on my arms like gone up, do you know what I mean? They used to say like, raw, that track's deep. And I like that style. And then from then, I used to do them now and then. I even done it on my album to this day. Like, so you're right, it is like training, because to this day, the first track on my album, the intro, I'm speaking about my dad, and it's deep, and it's got the same reaction as when I did that 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is like training, man.
Sick. Now, something we kind of touched on it a little bit. You know, it always happened at Pirate Radio. It was a lot more organic in those days.
Yeah.
But the clashing side of things, like,
Yeah.
there's no way I could have you here and not talk about, like,
I know. I don't mind as well.
of course, like, you've never shied away from it as well.
Yeah.
You've been involved in one of them never really ever got round to properly happening, but you've been involved in two of the most talked about duels, battles, feuds, whatever you want to talk about it, like in grime history.
Yeah.
Gets first and foremost.
Yeah.
That was the one that like just escaped everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, it seemed from where I was sitting that you was just 100% like up for it no matter what.
No matter what. Yeah, no matter what. I mean, yeah, I kind of, it was mad how it happened, because at first, he bigged me up. Like, he was bigging me up. And then all of a sudden, like, rumors went round, like, he thinks you're gonna like come through. He wants to try and shut that down. He's gonna send for you. He's gonna do this. And I'm like, what? Like, we never met each other. We never knew each other. Even when he shouted me out on radio and stuff, we didn't know each other. We didn't, you know what I mean? So then it was like, all right, cool. Like, as the young MC I am, I was like, yeah, cool. I'm gonna have my backup. I'm gonna have my bars ready, like live. I'm ready. So then I think he was clashing Skepta at the time. And I remember Skepta was, we was at radio, and Skepta said his bar, and then I was like, oh yeah, let me say mine. And I remember saying it, and I got like 3-4 reloads, and it was just going mad. Like, I think Maximum was on deck at the time, and everyone was going mad.
That would have been a hype set already.
Yeah.
Without like the surprise. It's like what you did back in the day when you jumped in on your Brethren's clash out of the blue. It's like, people didn't even know you had bars ready for Gets yet.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I just done it, and then it was going off, and then like he didn't reply then. He weren't bothered, because I was still small time.
Yeah. He
didn't care. He was just thought, whatever, innit? He just finished clashing Skepta. To him that was a thing that was worth it.
Yeah.
Clashing me, he thought, whatever, do you know what I mean? So then I think months went by, I just thought, all right, cool, you don't want to say anything, whatever. It's kind of air now. And then I continued with my career, and then Sang Like This came about. Boom, I got massive. And then he was putting out a mixtape. To this day, I feel like promo, he thought, yeah, cool, I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
This guy's big now, I'm going to say something. So I remember he done a freestyle. And it was only one line, he mentioned my name. It was one line, but that one
That was
line,
enough.
yeah, that was enough.
Yeah.
It was enough. And then I remember that I think it might have been the next day or the day after, I done a whole freestyle that come out on Grime Daily. It wasn't even called GRM yet. It was
Yeah,
it was
Grime
actually,
Daily.
Yeah, Grime Daily. And I done a whole freestyle on that. And it just went off. Like after that, we was just doing dub plates. He done a dub, I done a dub. And then like, there was bare politics, like he done, not even him, his management had done sneaky ones. Like his management was speaking to Cheeky, who I knew at the time. And it was like, they were there to kind of make sure it didn't go past music.
Yeah.
Like they was involved, like saying, all right, cool, he's gonna drop his dub on Logan's
Just trying
show.
to keep a bit of structure
like,
and keep
cool.
it a bit.
Yeah, it was like, cool, he's gonna drop his dub on Logan's show. You drop your one next week on Logan's show. And
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. But that was a tactic. I was naive. I didn't know in it. So he said, all right, cool, yeah, you drop yours dub a week later. Boom, he dropped another one like 2 days later saying, oh, look, he can't, he ain't, reply.
wow,
I was like, what? I'm in my house like, are you mad?
That's a
Like,
sneaky one.
You know what I mean?
That's
I
a
said,
sneaky
oh,
one.
okay, cool, sneaky one. And then I just dropped my one that kind of, for me, it just felt like when I did mine, it broke barriers. Like,
Yeah.
Westwood Radio 1 show, hip hop show. He stopped it, interrupted it. Yo, I have just received a P Money dub. The whole world, it was like the whole world went, what? And just
Yeah,
turned up the
literally,
radio.
yeah.
Like everyone was
I
locked
think
in.
I was locked in that night as well.
Yeah.
Like as always, like you would have been, and yeah, like you said, that it just took the dial just went up.
Yeah.
After that,
Yeah.
when you dropped that one, it's like whoa.
Yeah. Everyone was like I started trending on Twitter. I think I
Crazy.
had just made a Twitter because I used to be anti like changing all these social medias. I was like, no man, you made me go from MySpace to Facebook. Now you want me to go to Twitter? Like that's long, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm like that now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what this? Oh, another one.
You know
new
what I mean?
one.
So I think I had just made a Twitter, but I weren't really active. And then like Cyan was doing my PR at the time, and she was showing me. She was like, "Look, you are trending. Like it's going mad. Like hashtag Team P Money." There was like so many. This trending, I didn't even know that was. Like now you can trend. It's normal kind of thing. You know what I mean? But then it was like
Unless she
what?
was like some super A-lister,
Yeah,
it wasn't a normal
Do you
thing
know what I
at
mean?
all.
This was just a grime MC, like battling someone, and it was like, yeah, it was going mad. It was proper going mad, and then it was like, all right, cool, we're doing dubs, sick. Let's do this properly. Like at the end of my dub, I said, yeah, like let's go stage. Like don't reply. Let's go stage and do this. And it just never came about. Like, you know, people offered money. Like there was a
People was like, got to send in their children as like sacrifice. Like
Yeah,
people
like-
wanted to see that.
Yeah,
like,
everyone.
so much.
For me, it was the first time hip hop heads and grime heads tuned into something together. Because I had so many people that used to say, "Yo, like I'm not a grime head, but yo, that clash, those dubs, and
Yeah.
that, I was into that. Like
Sick.
that made me aware of grime and stuff. And yeah, it just started going mad from there. But it never got into actual me and him face to face.
Like I think it's just because of the abilities of both of you.
Yeah.
Like and Getz being who Getz is and was at the time, and yourself being like who you are, and
Yeah.
just that on a stage like head to head would have been incredible. So,
Yeah.
but we did get a live clash, like a Lord of the Mites clash
Yeah.
out of you though.
Yeah.
we got an opponent for you. We found you
Yeah.
an opponent,
Yeah.
which that almost never happened as well.
Yeah, almost. There was so many politics and dramas. That one was a bit more serious. Like, we didn't actually like each other.
Yeah,
like it.
You got a sense of that a bit, and Big H was playing up to it. He was almost doing like a WWF kind of style where you was like.
Yeah.
What is it like? So you could sense it. Like you could see that you were getting really like frustrated with the games and the back and forth, and H was just like enjoying the kind of moment almost.
Yeah, like I'm taking it serious, and he's kind of like not understanding how serious this is. Like this can turn into something mad right now because I don't know what you see it as, but I see it as real life. This is real life, bro. And like the craziest thing is though, why sometimes now I look at clashes differently is we never had an issue with each other before. We didn't know each other, but we didn't have a problem. And then the moment names got drawn out of a hat from a tweet, all it was he tweeted, "I'm the best, I'll clash anyone." Someone said, "What? P Money?" And then he said, "Yeah, I'll clash anyone." And then I seen it. What do you mean you clash? From
That's
then,
it.
now
That's
we don't like each other. It could have turned into from that.
Yeah.
Like
It's
clashes,
crazy.
Yeah, clashes are crazy. Like,
it's crazy. I got a little clip of it. Like I'm sure most of the world's already seen this. Lord of the Mites Part 6, where unanimously, man, you won. Like You can't leave the stage mid clash.
yeah.
Like, there's no excuse for that. There's no way of coming back from that.
Like, that's all I ever hear from this brother. Like, sounds like a chick on my Insta. Like, talk about German whip, who you like, but every time I hear a lyric, I'll be like, he's sitting at a German whip, so why? So how come our whips don't look alike? Man drive whips, man like, oh shut up, that ain't the whip you like. Blood, I've seen the whip you like it's dead. I've seen the whip you like it's dead. I've seen the whip you like it's dead. You got too far with this bloodline rep. Man got an X-reg in red. That ain't a German whip, I said. That ain't a German whip, it's French. Seatbelt, nigga, 6 inch. Clutches F, petrol dread. Car full of crumbs, boo is a mess. Winding the windows down with a wrench. Winding the windows down with a wrench. And your backseat's full like a bench. Used to be skinny, got in your car, turned it all once, came out hench.
That's out of order, you can't say that. Boy, better than that, you can't say that. Anything I say is like, you can't say that. You can't say that. That's out of order, you can't say that. Boy, better than that, you can't say that. Anything I say is like a...
I beat the tune, I told MP. I beat the tune in the video MC. Coming in, shot to the cat.
How many times you watched this back, P? Couple or?
Nah, do you know what? I think I've only ever watched it like back when the DVD came out, and I haven't watched it since. To me, it was a proper clash.
Yeah, but
it didn't finish.
Yeah.
It weren't. You know what I mean? It should have been like. At that stage, Lord of the Mics was organised. It had rounds, it had time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was very organised. That Jammer and his team had sorted it out properly, and I feel like he just came and abused all the rules. Like the rules got bent for him, and that annoyed me a lot. Like that.
And
alone.
even after that, there was still more.
Afterwards there was so much politics in that. I just don't care about it now. I'm just like, I don't even want to see it. Whatever. All the time people come up to me, hate you, but even though like I didn't like him, whatever, I still respected him as an MC because I never forget. So many people used to look up to him. Like North London started sounding like him.
Yeah.
Like the young MCs that I knew that were probably my age and stuff sounded like him and whatnot. And there was one point where he was sick, and I always said in every interview, when everyone said, "Oh, you're gonna wipe the floor with him," I used to say, "Listen, if he goes back to what he was sounding like before, it would be a sick clash." Like, you know what I mean? Same thing with Gets. When I was clashing Gets, I never underestimated him. Never said he's rubbish. I used to say, yo, like I remember having a conversation with Little D, and Little was like, "Blood, you're clashing Gets," and I'm like, "I know, fam." I'm like, I know.
But that having that, you know, that respect for your opponent or the person you're clashing, even though like on occasion you didn't even like you said, you wasn't a big fan of H as a person at the time. You knew that he was capable of doing something.
Yeah, definitely.
But that, like, since then, you know, you've been in the Radio 1 and 1 Extra buildings a lot before then, and since then, you've been in this building. You're firing the booth, you know, out there doing numbers.
Yeah.
Can we and will there ever be a part 2?
Yeah.
Because I know people are going to be like, right, we've got the album, we've seen this, we've done that. Right, what hasn't he done for us recently? Right, is there going to be a Fire in the Booth part 2?
Yeah, no, definitely. I've spoke to Charlie, and it's just about timing. I just need to find the time, because I've been doing so much. Like even the tour, I'm kind of organising it myself, just me and my agent doing things. And I just started my label as well, so then it's like, I just need to find the time, but I am definitely going to go like mad with it.
I'm scared. I'm scared for when you do that. Like that's gonna be mad. Like we got to talk about the album because time. I'm gonna have to start doing 2-hour in-depths because I forget how deep we can really go. Like we've literally just been touching the surface. But the album Live and Direct, man, dropped in 2016, highly anticipated. Why did you decide then, and what made you put it together in the way you did, man?
I've wanted to do it for so long, but the timing went right. Like, every time I wanted to do an album, grime weren't selling. Like, they weren't into grime. People didn't get it. Like, certain heads at radio didn't get it. Certain heads at, like, labels or whatever, certain promoters, they just didn't get it. I was trying to say to them, listen, the wave will start. Like, you know what I mean? But, like, no one was really getting it. No one was really pushing it. Even other artists weren't releasing actual grime singles.
Listen, everyone drifted off.
Do you know what I mean? Everyone.
Everyone. Like, it was happening left, right and centre. People were like,
everyone.
Is there like a shortcut to the promised land?
Yeah, like it was kind of like the like a side chick. People just and kind of like wanting to just like
distraction. People got distracted. They had the wifey there. Like they had it all there.
Yeah, like they just focused on something else a bit and not really paying that attention. But then I realized when I saw the change, and I thought, do you know what? Now's the time. And it was long overdue, but I had to make sure I delivered.
Yeah.
To get past that overdueness. Like it was like, forget how long you took, P. This is, sick.
You overly delivered, man. The album Live Direct, though, it's now spawned a tour.
Yeah.
which is you're about to embark on that.
Yeah. I've actually started already. I did my XOYO show.
Of course, what am I talking about? What am I talking about?
yeah. That was sick. And then I just done Birmingham the other day. We're looking to hit up Brighton, Nottingham, Leeds, Manchester, looking to hit up everywhere. But I'm doing it different to everyone else. Everyone else is doing like concerts where it's like basically all about them and their release. But I noticed there's a lack of raves. There is a lack of raves and not enough other MCs who don't have albums and ain't been in the game 10 years. They don't really get to be on lineups with
unless you've got like a song that's actually bust properly.
Yeah, you don't.
You're not really getting invited onto other people's concerts really either. So
exactly. So now I'm doing it different where it's a rave. Like it's not just to come at 7 p.m. home by 10, 11 because you've watched P Money do his album. You actually come out on a night out, you rave, you get to see like in Birmingham they got to see Saf One, they got to see JK, they got to see me, they got to see Shorty from BBK, they got to see Logan Sama and raved. Like had a rave, probably got drunk, do you know what I mean? Had a great time. I got so much tweets afterwards and it's like, they want more of it because there isn't enough. You know what I mean? So I took a different approach with the tour and I'm doing it that way where it's like I'm bringing raves to towns that they don't necessarily get.
Sick. Like, long may that continue, man. Like, I feel like we're gonna have to book in a part 2 in a few months' time or something.
I'm here, man. I'm here.
Because we've covered so much, but there's still so much we could cover. I feel like we got to end on another record from Live and Direct, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna allow you to choose it as well, man.
Gunfingers, man, because for me, I grew up listening to Wiley, I grew up listening to Jamie, so being on a track with them, as much as I've done in a career, I still see it as like, yo, they're the guys, you know what
Crazy as well, just quickly before we play it, crazy, like, Wiley is officially like, you're Wiley's favourite MC. He's made a song and the title of it is P Money.
Yeah,
like,
that's mad. Like
the cosign couldn't get any bigger.
I know.
from the Godfather himself.
Yeah. I big him up all the time. I almost feel like his protector. Like you can't say a bad word about him now. Like you can't say anything. Yeah. But yeah, man. Big up Wiley.
P, thank you for passing through, man. It's been amazing.